guys, welcome back to my channel. If you can see by the title, today we're going to be talking all about business stuff. And yes, I'm in my bedroom again. I actually have a new setup that I'm going to be having hopefully for the next video here down the line. But I wanted to film this because, I don't know, it's been a little bit heavy on my heart. So I'm going to try to keep this quick. And I actually have a full blog post that's also going to go with this video. So if you want more detail than what I'm talking about, just because I'm keeping this short, definitely check down below for the full detail on how to start a business. But basically, I just wanted to get on here because I want to encourage you to get out and start that business venture or whatever it is that you want to do. There's so many people that I talk to, some of my friends included, that say that they want to start businesses, and I don't know what holds them back from actually like fully doing it. I don't know if it's fear of failure or just not knowing, whatever the case is, but so many of us have like hopes and dreams for ourselves that we want to do, and we just never go for it. And so that's actually why I made that 1-year challenge video back in May. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. But no, seriously, it was to encourage people to just get out there and try what they want to do, like an honest try, and just see where it goes, because you never know what can come from just a little bit of effort, a little bit more than what you were giving. And so that's what that was all about. So it was a charge for you to just do that, and I really encourage you to watch that video to get some motivation. Today I want to just kind of talk a little bit about some of the like more in-depth how to start a business things. I just honestly feel like go for it. I don't think you should really think too hard about starting a business. At this point, there's so much knowledge out there that you can gain just from researching online alone that there's really no reason why you can't start any kind of business it is that you want. And, you know, you always hear people say, get a business plan together. What do you want to do for your business plan? And for me, I went to school for marketing, but after I graduated from college, I never really knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I never knew that that was something that I was going to pursue. And so it did finally happen for me. And I started my photography business in 2015. And so, you know, I always heard like, have a business plan. But I guess when you're kind of in it, you don't really think about it as much, even though you know it's something you need to do. But there's a couple components to me that make up a business plan. You know, they say have a mission statement. You know, of course, you want to know what products and stuff you sell. All that stuff is kind of a given, and it will come. But I think one of the biggest things, there's 2 things that you really need to have in your business plan. So this is just going to be quick. Like I said, for more detail, definitely check out the blog post below. So you want to know who your target audience is. Who are you selling to? Who do you want to buy these products? So your target audience is literally going to be the people that you want to get your things in the hands of. And one of the really cool things about some of the social media apps out there, like Instagram, for example, Instagram actually shares with you your analytics. So they will tell you who are the people that like your posts. And that's kind of going to give you a little bit of an insight to some of the surface level things that you would need to know about your target audience. So like the age range, the gender, sometimes the region or area that they're in. And some of that can have to do with the hashtags that you use as well. But it's still just a nice place to start. And so for me, mine was females, 24 to 35, in the Charlotte area, because I usually hashtag Charlotte, and then a couple other regions that are kind of like relative to what I have going on. So start with that. You know, of course, you need the basic stuff, the gender for sure, age for sure, because you're not going to be marketing to grandparents if you're trying to sell, I don't know, bikinis or something like that, you know, so you need to know those basic things. And then from there, you want to know, dig deeper, like what is it about this person? So figure out what they like to do. Where do they like to shop, shoot? What do they like to eat? What are their favorite TV shows? What is their mindset? How do they do different things? What do they prefer? Do they prefer videos or pictures? Do they prefer Facebook or Instagram? These are all things that you figure out, and it's trial and error. So don't feel like just because it's not working right away that it's just not going to work for you, period. That's one thing I will say. This video is how to start a business, and businesses take a really long time sometimes to get to a successful point. Successful people do have to fail, and they do have to struggle in order to get there. But maybe I'll make a video on how to start a successful business once I feel like I've quote unquote made it or whatever. But yeah, once you start your business, these are all things that will just naturally kind of happen. And it's going to be trial and error. And so that's one piece of advice I do want to give is, just like with anything in life, just if something is not necessarily going the way that you think it's going to go, or it's going slower than you thought, you didn't get the amount of sales that you wanted. There was a quick story. I wanted to do some Valentine's Day mini sessions for photography one year, and so I was promoting it. I did some Facebook ads. I like emailed some old customers. Valentine's Day came and went. I got nobody, and I literally let that stop me for like 3 months. Like literally, I didn't want to do anything. And looking back, it's just like, the point is that I did it, and yeah, it sucked because nobody signed up. Just because something does not go the way that you thought does not mean that it's not right for you. It just means that that wasn't the right way, but now we're going to try this one. So there's going to be 10,000 other plans for you to try. So don't let one failure stop you from living your dreams, okay? And outside of that, you also want to figure, I'm kind of all over the place. So back to our business plan. So outside of that, you also want to figure out what I call what the experts call the SWOT analysis. And so I learned about this in marketing, and let's see if I can remember correctly. It's your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So the strengths are basically what are you doing right already. So if you're not even an established business yet, you can even just think of like, what is it that I know that I'm good at, and I know that this company would do well at. And your weaknesses, what are you not good at? So things that you could definitely improve on, like let's say just whether it might be a skill that you know that you need to improve on, or if it's something that you need to outsource and figure out a way that you'll be able to make that a little bit better. And then we have our opportunities, and one thing that I think about opportunities is great is it can come in a lot of different forms. For me personally, for my stationery business that I have, one thing I want to get into is becoming a vendor at different like festivals and events. And that's a huge opportunity for me. A lot of money to be made, and as well as just an opportunity for more people to see my business. So that's kind of what that is. And then your threats is kind of your competition. But I don't really want to look at it as necessarily like your competition is threatening you, but more so just where your threat is your competition and the ways that they may be able to hinder your business. But honestly, there's a hashtag out there, it's community over competition, and I strongly believe that there is enough room for all of us to do exactly what it is that we want to do, no matter what your niche is. There may be 1,000 people doing that niche, but no one's going to be like you. So just keep that in mind. So that is the SWOT analysis, and I did that very quickly, glossed over it just to keep it short, like I said. But for a full detail on that and even more stuff to add into your business plan, definitely do check out my blog linked below. But really the last thing I would say is just to get legal, y'all, because it's just nothing like being an established business. And so for so long, I literally just put it off because I thought it was going to be this super involved process. But all you really need to do is I do recommend getting on Google and researching the business structures so you can figure out what is exactly the best fit for your business. I ended up choosing LLC, and I figured that that was the best one for my business. But figure out what works for you and research your area. A lot of times they'll have a company or probably a few companies that will work with you if you need to find out more information about what your structure is and how you can get started on getting there. So I thought mine was going to be this super long, drawn out process. When I tell y'all, I literally filled out a form. I filled out like a couple of things about my business, like the name and my address, that kind of stuff. I submitted it in an email and I paid. It was $125. And within a week I got it back and I was officially LLC. So then I had to get like a tax ID, stuff like that. But it still was not like this daunting process that I thought. And I was like, oh, I just don't feel like doing this. But yeah, I could have probably been done with this like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So don't put it off. Just, figure it out. That could definitely be maybe something, the reason like why you don't want to do it. And if it is, don't let that be it. There are so many resources available to us on the internet. It's not even funny. I just strongly believe that if you have a passion of something you want to do and you even kind of thought about turning it into a business, why not? I mean, if you don't go for something, you'll never know what could be. And you don't want to be a shoulda, coulda, woulda kind of person. You want to be a person that knows that you attempted and you tried. Businesses are hard. They're a lot of work. They're a lot of long nights. And sometimes you're going to be the only person that's going to be passionate about it. And that's okay. Just know that you have to start from the bottom in order to get to the empire that you're trying to build, or whatever the case is. You have to start somewhere. So just know that that is something that's going to take time to get to. But don't let that stop you or hinder you from continuing, because that's just life. Things are not gonna go the way we want, and it's just something that I always say, and I'm like always talking about it, but it's true. Like we can't control it, but you know that when you're starting a business, it's not going to just be this overnight success. There are those stories out there, but for most of us, that's just not the case. So that's my piece. I wanted to keep it short, but again, I did want to just say that if you have a business venture, or if there's something that you've been thinking about doing, just go for it, because I promise you that you will just be so proud of yourself that you did, and it will be so worth it in the end, especially once you just see that product that you created in someone else's hand and they're telling you how much they love it, or you give them a service and they're coming back. You know, those are the things that just make it worthwhile and make you remember why you're doing it in the first place. Because a lot of times I sit there and I'm like, I don't have to be doing this, but you just have to keep in mind why you started it. And a lot of times people as business owners do start something because they're passionate about it, and it's because it's something that you want to do. And I feel like I am all for people wanting to pursue their passions in whatever shape or form. So that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.